recording, and yeah, that's it. I hope I'm capturing the entire. So going back here, so today we computations. We're going to see Azure Resource Manager templates. So basically we are working with, they call them ARM templates. Now we have to see how to deploy a resource from a template. We are going to look at introduction of the Azure Compute Gallery. Then capturing an image from an existing VM. Talk of creating an image definition. Then you will have introduction, overview. Actually, shall have an overview of containers in the cloud. So here we'll be talking about maybe container instances, maybe container. Shall have an overview of container registry. Maybe you can talk about also container groups. Okay, the thing is overview. Yes, please. Yeah, the other ones were more of on a machine, physical machine, but this one's in the cloud. Yes. Actually, you're even going to do some research on these ones. I'll be giving, since I'd given the other one and you didn't present, you've reminded me. I'll give you this one, and this one, you in the next class you'll have to come and show me. I'm going to write it in somewhere so that I don't forget. I'll give a certain exercise when we read there about containers. So how are we going to structure our, if you've written this down already, now let me, that's my template. So now what we're going to do is we are going to create, we will create a resource. Create a resource here, and I think we're going to create a storage. We're going to a storage account. Then, after we create a storage account, we are going to download the the template. After downloading the template, we're going to have to redeploy from the template. Redeploy from the template. Just to demonstrate how to work with templates. Now, reasons for working with templates. One, these are for automation, automation purposes. And now automation brings about for faster deployments. When you extract the template, you'll be able to deploy resources faster than going to the portal and create a resource, then again next. Why? If you deploy with a template, some of the parameters are already pre-filled, and you don't have to fill in most of the things. That's the reason you need to work with templates. And also, now this will be an introduction towards you gaining skills with scripting and automation and in the future. Yeah? Reasons for using templates, I think. Or you can say for using ARM templates. So let's look at how it's going to be. Hey guys, there is also, we talked about deploy resource from an introduction to Azure Computer Gallery. Because when we're working with the Computer Gallery, I think after writing, I'm going to explain most of the things now. Let me first again write something. Virtual machine extensions. Somewhere here, virtual machine extensions. Virtual machine extensions is also some of the things we're going to look at. But I want to write everything so that I see how we're going to structure our lab, so that we don't do a lot of we don't create a lot of things. If we can create one virtual machine and we can do an extension on it, and also you'll see. So virtual machine extensions, and now creating an image from an existing VM. Then creating, I'll go through overview of virtual machine scale set, VM FSS, virtual machine scale sets. Yep. So you find a way of structuring that information in your books. So let's look at the lab structure. Can we go to the lab structure? Shall have a resource group. have a storage account. Then we shall have a new storage account. So we are going to have this one, which we are going to first just create manually. This is storage 000x. That's a storage account. Then we will have another one, which we will create from the template, the storage C double A. We want to create this from a template. With all, so this will have its parameters like usual, location, everything. Then we extract this. We may not even fully create this, but our interest is to download the two templates from this one. So let's see that very fast. So let me copy this and got the photo. But before that, what is the resource group that we're going to have? So let me just pick it here and create it very fast. The resource group name, sometimes maybe it's case sensitive, so it's going to be in the East US next. I'm not putting tags, and yeah, so that's going to be our resource group. Hey, it is this side is not a I think there. Let me see. Now the resource group is here. Now we can. What is on my screen is also I see it on the projector. Yeah. Which part is that you adjusted?
There's I don't know what it's called. It's behind the lens.
Behind the lens. It's just you just rotated, eh?
Yeah, it's
Because it's like
I think I also know this is bad.
this one. Yeah.
Come on, I think I also
So we have a resource group that we know about. Now the first very storage account, this is now from, of course, Portal, but this is going to be from the template. So I just want you to get to understand what is happening. That's why. So let's do the one from the Portal. Sometimes for lack of better names, I just write this. So let's go to the Portal and get the storage account. Already, if you've done this before, you'll be seeing this here. And then I'm going to. So by default, there's a resource group here that's not the one ours is resource GP00, right? Then I'm going to put the storage account name, and I'm going to maintain the EastUS performance standard. That's okay. Redundancy. Last time we talked about redundancies, the differences between geo-redundant storage and maybe locally redundant. We talked about those and when to choose. Next, requires secure transfer for REST API. We talked about all those. Yeah? Yeah.
In what scenario can I be given that? Why would I be creating this storage?
Storage account.
Yes.
Hey.
That's all. Like, is it for an organization storage?
Actually, it will be for your organization because usually you have file servers where different departments of your organization throw their data. So sometimes you don't know what is going to happen to that server. So sometimes you create a storage account in the cloud and you map them directly to synchronize them to the cloud. Yes. Or if you can find a way, you save on your file server, but then your file server keeps backing up to the storage account in the cloud. So it can be either direct usage or backup. Yes, because when you have backup with all the other things we have seen, like replication, different replication techniques, geo-redundant storage. If you have a backup with geo-redundancy, which means your data is being backed up across multiple regions. You have a data center in Africa, you have in China, like that, but also you are trying to analyze the cost of having a geo-redundant storage. Or if that is very expensive, you could go for locally redundant storage. Locally redundant means that within a region, it's going to be backed up in multiple data centers within the same region. So if you can't afford the geo-redundant storage, then you go for the locally redundant storage as a scenario for making sure or ensuring high availability. Yeah, so basically that. So yeah, so that will be the scenario. You get it? Yes, as backup or something. So networking. Next class will be exploring what networking in the cloud looks like with different resources. Yeah, last one. So there is this template, guys. Down here there is something. Download the template for automation. Now this is what we are interested in for today. So I'm going to have to download this. This is the template. Readability. Maybe I'll open it with Notepad. Let me just download it. Download to our MCS. Yeah, okay, let me just put it on the desktop. So this is a storage account template. Storage account. So I've downloaded that, and we may not need to progress with. So there are two. So we have template, then the parameters. Template gives more of some kind of. Let me try to check the font. No, the things can try to make sense to you. They do, eh? Okay. So I think the first line identifies the schema, .management.azure.com, and the version for that template. So which is 1.0.0. Then parameters of the template in terms of what it captures. It captures the location of the resource, it captures the name of the resource, then the type of account, the kind, yes, things like that. Blah, 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 and so on. Then some policies in there that are attached to the storage account. So in between there, if you understand these policies, default access type, like what we configured, is it, basically that's about the template. Yeah. You can read through it and so on. So that is one. Two.
Just hold on.
Yeah.
Please go back up. Well, we had a lot of, there's a lot of data type for wall.
Let me try to scroll up at the beginning.
Yeah.
Around here.
Okay. So the wall is yes or no, right?
Is that what?
Is it the data type?
Data type is Boolean.
Yeah, what I'm saying, but it is not version equal yes or no. All right.
Okay, good. Yeah, like one time I said about it here, I think before we even started the cloud classes. The cloud is basically to enable automation, systems admins to do automations. And I was saying that for you to be able to read JSON files or scripts, you just have to have an idea of programming for readability of things. Now that is the first part, and I don't want to save this. Okay. Then we have the parameters. Parameters are, for example, if you remember the storage account name that we gave, it is there. It's a string. That's what is being defined in the template. That the storage account name is a string, blah, blah, and stuff. Then we have the value, the location is there. That is understandable, right?
Yeah.
Very easy. Account type is also there. The, I don't know, account kind or something. Storage version 2. Now you need to understand or maybe go and read about what is storage version 1 and storage version 2. Then supports HTTPS traffic only. Allow blob public access, value equals to true. Allow shared access, value equals to true. That is shared access. But of course, that is the back end or something, but you need to enable it at some stage when you're dealing with the storage. Access tier, yes, please.
So every time we create, it will give us the generated bit and then give us
The parameters, yes, for every resource. So this
the same code, only that
same code.
has the exact parameter that we want.
Yes. So some things, of course, you just have to change a few things when you're redeploying. Maybe like the storage account name, and maybe if you want the location, but mainly I think the storage account name for storage. But now if it's for a virtual machine, you may need to change the username and passwords, and maybe the virtual machine name. Only a few things, then you're good to go.
We have scenarios like in the Excel where they ask for something mentioned.
Scenarios where they might ask for something that I have not mentioned.
It's not the user account.
Oh, yeah.
To change something.
Maybe they might tell you to change the access tier. Because we have two access tiers, either hot or cool. Yes, so you might have to edit this. Because they might give you a scenario like maybe a systems admin was deploying a storage account from a template, and at the time of deployment, the account has been set to an access tier of hot. Yet, with the hot, it means the storage account is frequently accessed. But the system admin intends to deploy one which its data is infrequently accessed. then they tell you to which parameter would you edit and what would you put. So you go ahead and identify the access tired, which is hot, and since it needs infrequently accessed information, you change from that to, or they will give you maybe different options on what is supposed to be done. Then you choose the correct thing that is supposed to be done. Yeah, correct. So yeah, let's clear that. Now, when you want to use this, you'll go to the portal. So I'm going to ignore this. I'm just going to create another part. Then I look for, it must be here already, custom templates. Maybe deploy from a template. Deploy a custom template, it's here. Yeah, so that's how you start to use the. So when you come to this one, the first one, the first option says build your own template in the editor, but also there are already existing templates. Because create a Linux virtual machine, create not already the existing one, but they are saying build your own. We have already our own, right? We're going to go with build our own. Now, there is a part for loading the file. Now you need to first load the template file before you load the parameters.
Yes.
So let me go and load the template. Is this what we created for us? On the desktop, we must have something here, ARM, yeah. ARM, then storage account, then there is this. This is not nice.
Why is it that way?
Mm,
I mean, why do we have to first load the template and then the parameters?
it has the template gives the specifications on how the parameter should fit in. The parameters should fit in.
Explains why you have this data here. Okay.
Exactly.
Except I was thinking, the parameter also has it. Can it read? I know that if I put text that is a string. Anyway. What's up with our upload?
It brought some weird. I don't know. Maybe because I changed a few.
Are we supposed to save it to the specific file type?
Let me just see if that's what the issue is. Let me see if the changes that I made to the font. Maybe let me check.
Just open the template.
Just confusing.
Just confusing.
Oh, sorry guys. I think did we when I opened that when we downloaded. Let me just try to go back and check again something. Desktop ARM. This is the one, right? It's what we're studying, right? Now we need to extract.
It was zipped.
It was zipped. First extract all. I think the same location here. So these are the ones. Yes. So we've already gone through this. Let me go and try to see if. So we have to. Did it load?
You really have anything?
Not yet. Let me just for the purposes of. So deploy custom template.
That means we need to take time to also understand what some of those are, what we need to understand the content of our template.
Yes.
You can only know that this is what you need to change in a question scenario if you actually know what they are.
Exactly. So let's try to load again. Load the file again, and this the one.
So back,
Storage account. This one.
yes.
So the parameter template first. Yeah. So it was the we had not yet extracted. Now after that, you save the template. Save it. Then now you edit the parameters. Correct? Now you see this is not filled in, but let's check what the parameter does. Edit parameters, I think. Then we load the file for this one, right?
Yes.
And save. So it has pre-filled. Do you see that? It has pre-filled the parameters, everything. The storage account itself, everything the way it is in the template and what we had defined.
Does this mean that we can actually do it without using the template? We can manually input the parameters?
That's what we're trying to avoid. Now, just imagine. Everything is there. So you just have to review. Maybe what is this? Because we didn't create this storage account, I'm thinking we don't need to change the name. We didn't deploy last time, we just downloaded the template. So I'm thinking we can just review and create. Yeah, the validation has passed. Then you go ahead and create. So we just created from a template. We're deploying a storage account from a template. First loaded the template, then loaded the parameters, and then deployment is ongoing.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Let's say my organization has a file storage, let's say,
Mm.
the file storage server.
Mm.
How do I copy this template for it to be in a specific storage space I'm creating? You see, I'm creating this one.
Mm.
Yeah? How do I copy? How do I copy
Your files.
my file template to this, and I'm putting it when I'm creating the template.
How do you copy your normal file?
Yes.
Into the storage account.
Yes.
Ah.
I say
Okay. I think that's where you need to go and also explore the storage explorer very well. It has a lot of functions apart from just transferring from the cloud to. I hope I'm getting the question.
yeah. You see
Now we have the storage
the storage server
on premises.
on premise.
Yes.
Now I'm creating a storage
Account.
account.
The cloud.
An account. How do I copy the template of my server?
Creating a template.
The template, there's already a template, a file template, let me say, file template that has storage.
You're going to look at something. I don't know if you'll be able to. I know you guys will tell you don't do this. There's something called easy copy.
Easy copy.
Write it down. AZ and then dash copy. Easy copy. Try to then look at easy copy. Analyze it, compare it with Azure Storage Explorer. look at it in details, easy copy, then compare it, draw comparisons between easy copy and Azure Storage Explorer, and see if you come up with an answer to what you're asking. Will you do that?
Yeah, I want to do it tomorrow.
Okay. If you get the answer, you text me.
Yeah, I will. Because I'm trying to see a scenario where I don't have to one fast sync every storage file. But if I sync the AD and my storage together, and I can actually copy the template from my server, to the cloud, it can actually create without you being able to create it again. You see, I've got all the information here about the storage and everything. And it brings everything from storage name.
But the way we synchronize our on-premise when we're doing AD connect, it picks the username, it picks the parameters that were set
From the on-premises.
to your Azure AD.
Yeah, but
So,
not storage.
in my head, I'm thinking that if you're dealing with storage and you do the same thing, you don't actually have to create, but you just pick it with its parameters and all that.
That's what I want to find out. But if it does not pick it and I have to recreate, do I have to go through the
Because it
entire
would make
process
sense
of
for them to create
creating them,
this,
then
yet I have to pass it in moving that when putting it into the parameters.
That has been moved to the cloud.
So what exactly is it? Because in order for you to move
No, when you move the
the
data to
parameters
cloud,
have to
then
be
it's
there.
okay.
That
When
doesn't
you-
make sense.
When you
You
download.
can't move the data unless the parameters are defined. So
Let me say if the storage, okay, it has been moved.
The storage?
Yes.
The on-premises storage has moved.
No, there's the AD has connected to the cloud.
yeah.
Now, there's a storage that I have on my AD also be synced to
Automatically.
It's automatic.
It's not,
But then you have to keep in mind that this is different from AD. What we're doing now.
yeah, I know it's different. No, let's say that it's not.
What happens actually? If maybe let's begin with the previous scenario when we looked at storage, and when we looked at the Azure Storage Explorer, you realize that when we created the storage account, uploaded certain files or worked with the storage account, when we connected using the physical PC to the cloud, you realize that everything was being synced. You could work with any file without actually even having or to download it or something. You would see the files there. Yes. And the same thing would happen if there's some storage that you want to reflect on the cloud. You would just maybe be able to see that already synchronized.
So I'm thinking in my head, because now I don't want to feel like I've understood things around it. Before the synchronization is completed, it needs to first, the parameters have to be defined. It needs to know that the data I'm receiving has this kind of values, has this kind of storage, has this, before it even manually moves the data. It needs to first know what am I receiving.
To move the data from the on-prem to the cloud,
In my head, I'm thinking, it needs to know
what am I receiving?
What am I receiving? That means the parameters are sent actually first before the actual data goes in my head. So I think that's what happens
That's
in the
how
background.
it works in the background.
Yeah, not so. So I don't see the reason as to why you want to copy the template. Because if you're already done,
When it's, what if it's on a different server? Let's say it's on a different server. My storage server. It's not this is my storage server.
You're using a storage server.
Yes. And I want to copy from my
You say it because, Kabanda, we need to understand you more, a little bit. We wanted to document your scenario. Okay? Don't worry. Let's document it so that we understand. So you're saying you have an on-prem file server.
Yes.
Yes. And what is happening on it?
And I have storage files already.
You have storage.
So we have to
Have storage files on it.
Now,
At the time, is it connected to the cloud or not?
no, it's not connected.
Not connected.
I need to create a storage
Account
account for it and store it so that
in the cloud.
in the cloud. So that
For your file server.
yes,
Good.
on my cloud.
Mm.
So I need to create a file, yeah,
Wait.
on the cloud that receives
So you need to create a file
that syncs to my
with your file server.
file server.
Yes.
So how do I upload and sync them together without having to first look for a file template on my server? How do I get the file server?
The template, I don't think you'll get the template on the file server. The template will be in the cloud.
Okay. How do I sync them together?
How do you sync them? I told you start with the file storage, the Azure Storage Explorer. Azure Storage Explorer does a good job on making sure that what you have on the cloud is also what you have on-prem. If you make any changes on-prem, they will be reflected in the cloud. You get it?
Yeah.
With the Azure Storage Explorer. Any changes you make, if it's after making that synchronization with that connection string, the shared access signature, it is going to be replicating seamlessly. When you make any changes here in a specific folder, it will show also the other side. You get it? Eh?
Yes, I get it.
Yeah. What you have here is what is the other side. Remember also, the storage account in the cloud is also working as a backup. Now, for this to make sense to you, is that in case you want to change your file server from the initial one, you will have to work with the cloud storage account. You get it? You're going to read, if you want to have another copy of the storage you have to work with the cloud. You get it? Where you have to redeploy from the template, which template of the storage is a copy of what your file server has. Maybe you want to copy that to have to be a different storage account. That's where it makes sense. You get the point? Let me come again. You now was
I'm trying to see how this can be used.
Exactly. I'm giving you the scenario. Let's go back to your scenario. You have a file server. Sorry, guys, we'll move away from this. And maybe probably your file server is operating on 192.168, maybe .40.1. Now, this is synchronizing with a storage account. Not so? In the cloud. And this storage account, it has, its own parameters. It has, because now when you're synchronizing all that information maybe to a container or something, and it's dumping information there in the storage account. And there's synchronization between these through the use of the Storage Explorer. Also, now what you have here is what is. If you make any changes here, they will be reflected here. It's a two-way replication. If you make changes here, they will be reflected here. Are you getting me? Now, if you want to redeploy your server, your file server in the cloud, you have to use the storage account parameters. Are you getting me? You have to download these templates.
For that specific account.
Yes, in the cloud. Download these templates and redeploy it with another account name, storage account name.
Me actually thought you copy the file from the file server.
No. Download these templates and redeploy from this.
Okay. Now I get it. Me, I thought you have to first copy, look for a template in the file server.
No.
It's already synced, I have to just copy it.
Just copy this and download. Yes.
Okay, now let's see the video further.
Because that is Azure Tech now. It's not on-premise Tech. It's Azure Tech.
Azure Tech, yes.
Azure Tech.
But, guys, the reasons we are doing automation, why we are studying this, the main reason the main reason for this, the main purpose why we are doing this is time. Saving time with deployments. That's the main purpose for this automation, ARM templates. Time saving, or not to spend a lot of time, because now you see, you might have an infrastructure as code. When you talk of infrastructure as code, we're saying maybe you have a virtual machine somewhere running Linux, you have a storage account, then you have some network which aids connectivity between those resources. Now, if it so happens that another person or another client wants such a structure, it's very easy to download that code and replicate what is already there. And what you do is only to change a few things to customize the code. Other than first creating a storage account, then again create a virtual machine, then ensure there is connectivity. That will take you a lot of time. But also you have to be so careful with working. You get it? So it's mainly a time saving technology. Is the reason we do it.
Okay.
It's clear? Okay. So our
Now, of 60 scenarios.
That's the best way to understand.
yeah. So we have the storage account created from a template. We didn't go to the portal next like. Then you can work with the template itself and like that. Okay. So the same can happen for a VM, everything, like I've said. So you just need to go and explore and so go and do some more practice. Next is we talked about what? Now let's talk about
Deployment software. Template is that introduction of Azure Compute Gallery.
Azure Compute Gallery. So the Azure Compute Gallery is the location to store images. Images like OS images, provisioned images. So the whole of these things, you see that they're trying to make sure that a systems admin is quick with deployments and exactly. So with Azure Compute Gallery, Azure Compute Gallery is going to help you to
The first time I was exposed to virtual machines,
yes.
and our principal system administrator was cloning, and how fast it took him. It was like just a few minutes. Just when somewhere, go to the operating system, go to another place, copy this, copy that, all in a virtual environment. And to me at that time, it was mind blowing. At that time, anyway. But now it makes sense. It does. But to some people, he cloned in 30 minutes, he was done. Cloning. Which is cool.
Good. So the gallery, I'm just going to use my own words, is a place where maybe a company keeps copies of different provisioned images, or you can call them OS images. The place where a company keeps copies of different provisioned OS images. So this could be, you can have a definition for Linux images. You can have one for Windows, like that, and so on. And also you can maybe categorize. You could have Linux server collection. And you could also have Linux server client. In the same spirit, you can have a definition for Windows, and then a definition for Windows clients. Now, what is, you know how you be in the organization, and there are those general applications that everyone must have. So maybe everyone must have Word, Excel, VLC, Chrome, like that. So that in case we got a new employee, you just don't need again to create a new machine, then install the applications and what. So there is a way of capturing the image of those machines. Then you just deploy, and when it is, then when it comes up, everything is there.
The image actually has the operating system, it has the program.
Yeah, all the programs are there. Now that's what we're going to do. Now, when we create such images, we capture the images and store them in the Azure Compute Gallery. It's called Compute Gallery. Azure Compute Gallery. Great. Now, our lab environment is going to be like this. We're going to the steps. We're going to create a VM, then capture. But of course, on this VM, we'll install some basic app. Maybe like to see what really happens. Basic app like maybe VLC. Since virtual machines don't come with VLC, that will be enough for us to see the changes. Install basic app like VLC, then perform what we call perform sysprep. Perform a sysprep. A sysprep is the act of now preparing the operating system to be provisioned as an image, which is going to be stored in the compute gallery. Sysprep captures the entire settings, configurations of the operating system. After that,
Captures what?
the sysprep, it captures the configurations, the current configurations of the operating system in terms of the OS itself, the settings that have been configured, the applications that are installed on it. All those are captured during sysprep. Perform. We're saying that perform a sysprep. Then after that, you go and do capture. Capture the VM to create the image. Then deploy a VM from the image to see if it can replicate what was in the other side. So which means if your VM had VLC, when you redeploy, it should also come with VLC and all other settings and configurations. Okay. So let's go to the portal. First, we're going to create, I don't know how we are going to call our gallery. What name should we give it? Gallery. We just say gallery. Okay. All right. We're going to call it gallery. All right, fine. Let me go there. We're going to use the same resource group. Azure Compute Gallery is not this. Don't go for this. It's supposed to be. I'll explain. It's this one. Azure Compute Gallery. So the Azure Compute Galleries is what the collection of all the galleries, not the creation. It will show the collection. So we're going to maintain the same resource group. And then you said we should just call it gallery. But let's have some kind of number that will uniquely identify our, which is 00 throughout. Okay, I hope it will be accepted. So 00. Then that's all. The sharing method, there is role-based access control, because in the cloud, how do people access resources? If you've heard about role-based access control, is restricting according to rights, giving rights, who should access the gallery, who should not. Next, of course, I talked about tags some time back, and you know the use of tags. So make sure you remember the name of our gallery. After that, we are going to, let's have a virtual machine, and then we see what to do next. You guys last time feared to create virtual machines. You said that your money, you created it?
But I haven't deleted yet.
You created it? Yeah, delete it.
But you know they have like you can see the points before. And they help you can see what
But when you create a virtual machine, it's your point.
But what happens to you? You should talk to Harish. Tell him we need our accounts. We are here to create things. We need our accounts.
He understands, make the thing. So the gallery has been created. Make sure you don't forget. The next thing we do is let's create a virtual machine very fast. This will do. But we need to be careful about the virtual machine names. That's what I'm going to type in Notepad. So, VM. We're going to, let's go with the Windows kind of image, which is Windows Server, Windows 2019, this one, generation 2, and then what else?
Hey, for the virtual machine, we are creating a server, right?
Yeah, we're creating a server. Then we need the username. So the username should be something. Should also, because if these things you don't capture them well, this is going to be user 00. I'm maintaining the version Then we're going to have a password of so it can be anything. Alex 00 at 1 2 3 4 5. Yes. What's the problem? Paste. The username has been accepted. Then I check the password and just copy and paste the password too. Copy. Yeah. RDP connections, that's okay. I think, yeah, basically those parameters will do, eh? Those ones will do. The next, I don't want to go with premium. Premium takes a lot of money. I'll go for standard, for HH hard disk. It's cheaper. Those premium things take a lot of money.
So it works as though you're having. Okay, what if you selected that?
Yeah.
No. SSD.
SSD.
Yeah.
Of course, SSD is more expensive and of course
So it
faster.
works like the normal.
Yeah, sure.
Jesus Christ. This is good.
It works the same way. Hey, the way they say HDD and SATA, it's also in the cloud.
Online.
Eh?
I thought it was just online.
Serious stuff. Real computation stuff. Even, i3, with the CPU that you want, you specify. Only the limitation would be now the cost. SSD is there. You see? You can either take the premium SSD. There is the premium SSD, best for production and performance.
Do you know why he's worried? Because now his business is threatened. He's in the business of physically. Now people are
Going to run away.
giving virtually. So
But it will take a long time.
People are handling. Do you know people are now looking for Azure admins?
Yeah, sure. Those ones are very many. Now outside there,
Not
like
even outside, inside UG itself. Statistics.
yeah, people are looking for. And actually now those are the ones who have gotten enlightened now. Because top banks like maybe Stanbic only. It's only Stanbic that has so far looked for the Azure,
Even NGOs.
even NGOs. So slowly, you need to prepare, by the way. Those are all jobs.
When I see this is expensive.
Paper, okay? So standard HHD, I think that's enough. Next, networking. Next class, we're talking about networking, like the entire networking. I don't want anyone to miss that one. Networking, and then management is okay. I think this is the point we should install an extension. A virtual machine extension. I hope. I don't know if we have an extension that will work for us. An extension is just basically like a script that you inject so that as the machine installs, it installs along with. Maybe you tell it to also install DHCP, DNS, Internet Information Services. Let me check if I have a script that we can inject in. If we have a script somewhere, I think I copied some script here. Partial scripts here. Oh, these are 4. This will take long.
Actually, remove 3 and delete.
3 and the main is 1. Go Windows feature. So I think we can leave.
Are we for commercial break?
Not yet. Let's continue with this virtual machine. Next, monitoring, advanced. Okay, let's select an extension. I just wanted to make sure that the script can install very fast. I don't want to put a lot of scripts, at least only one script for illustration. Maybe select an extension to install. Then we shall go for custom and pick the one that I have been editing. Look for custom script. This is the part. Next. And I think we are supposed to upload that script somewhere in the storage account. You get it, eh? So let's go to this storage account because it's not there. Let's go to that storage account and so container. Container 1, account 101. So I'm going to. So this is the one. Then upload that script here. Browse. Okay. Upload. So you see the script is here. Then let's go back and try it.
That script is for what?
To install. I picked DHCP and it's here, right? So yeah, it has been. So in case the script has a lot of things, then it will just inject it. The point for this is to ensure that you don't have again to do a lot of things after this machine has been. Yeah, then create. You can put some custom data. Next, it's review and create. So if everything is good, then just create the virtual machine. So this is 0.0140.
Question.
Yes, please.
When you reach the point of the extensions, you have to go and create a container. With the container, that's where we added
You must have a storage account.
yeah.
Then the storage account should have a container. And then the cloud is for that particular function is not accepting you to browse directly from your PC.
So
So
you have to upload
to the container before you do the extension. I hope, Kawanda, you are there.
Yeah.
So let's do the installation of the script.
So the script, this way the extension,
No, the extension is a service. Now, we need to know that we say that the installation of the installation machine. We give an example here. We are going to first create a virtual machine.
yes.
In this instance, we use the server. Okay. But we also need to define if we want to what services it's going to run. So, in the old machine environment, we have to first run our operation system, then go and run the role of TXP. But in this case, roles are extensions.
Oh, okay.
It's different from programs,
Yeah.
which are going to be part of the operating system. But you need to have, like, if you want to, you could have created it without it, you could have allowed. But he wanted to show us that you need to have the extensions. When you want to have roles, you need to have that extension for that role. Yeah. So he had to put the extension so that when he runs the virtual machine, it's going to automatically, like now where it had taken off, it's going to run the role of a DHCP server. So he has already created the DHCP
Before,
server.
actually now it's just a matter of, actually the whole work
It's
is
done.
done.
So now what he's going to do is, most likely he's going to maybe download the VLC in there. I'm assuming now, unless you know, he's going to download maybe VLC in the DHCP server. Then he's going to make that entire thing an image. So that the next time I want to install a DHCP server with VLC in it, and I no longer have to go through this method of first getting the video, creating the video, and then uploading the extension, and then putting it. I will just run, and it will have everything at once. But the difference is that the roles are extensions. Okay? And the program files are programs. Yes.
Yeah, no. How do I copy the script? From how do I copy the script from okay, from my machine. From my machine. How do I copy the script? It's what? DHCP network.
What is it
I
trying to
just
say?
say, I don't think I can.
How do I copy the script?
The script.
Okay, like how right now we want to create an image of already operating system with programs and that stuff. He wants to know that for his actual machine, his
Is it right?
Okay.
Oh yeah, sure. You can.
like application.
You can. Just the same way we're going to do it. With what just follow what we're going to do next. Then it's the same thing you could do for your machine.
Yeah.
This is why the first thing I get for this class.
So can I connect and upload the script?
Where he said to me, I said, because we are doing
Okay, this is a powerhouse. So I can get my own laptop. Put it there. That means I have to pay.
So,
If I lose this computer,
there's
I get
something,
to go back and
there's something Francis was asking.
Yes.
And I want to make sure that I explain this right, because if I'm wrong, kindly correct us. He was, what is this again?
About the extension.
About the extensions. Before you even introduced, you talked about extensions. Our original plan was to have an image file that we can easily pick. We're going to create an image file that has the basic installations we want. It will contain the OS and maybe the programs that we want. Okay. But then you came in when we were creating the virtual machine. We said you want to show us, and you were like, okay, if your server is going to be a DHCP server, you need to attach the extension of that specific role you want your server to run.
Yes.
So I was explaining to him the difference between what you were doing at the beginning and just the extension is that for your image file that we're going to finally create after this, it's going to have the OS and the programs. But the extension defines the roles of the server.
Sure. Yeah, sure. Yeah, true. The extension.
I also have a question. Now, once we are done once the deployment is done, and say you want to add program files into it, we're going to run programs in
Some other addition.
like for example, one PLC, and then we package it as one. When I use it for my next deployment, the image package that we're going to create, when I use it for my next deployment, will it also deploy the extension? I don't think. That's
For it to deploy the extension.
answering myself to if I'm wrong.
No, we're going to check it out. Because already we're creating the image from the one which has the extension.
Yeah.
Actually, we want to check if the extension has been effected after it.
It's like a clone. It will have it. That's okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Which means the extension worked, I guess. So we'll just have to go to and confirm and see. So for as long as the DHCP is ticked, then the extension was injected. So let's go to the virtual machine and see. Then we see what next. This is the public IP, guys, and then I want to connect this machine. Yes. Sorry. What was the username? The username is here. Copy. And then the password.
Let's put in some application.
Protocol code, the remote session was a bit disconnected. Please try connecting to the remote computer again. I don't know what happened.
We go and fix the features in the VM.
The feature.
The
Yeah, but I'm trying to. You get it? I was connecting, then it disconnected. You're connecting and it disappears. I don't know what caused the connectivity issue in between. I hope it was securing the session.
Joshua is asking, he's saying he hopes that we are recording.
Yes. Is there no one trying to take it again also? Who?
Not yet, he hasn't tried it.
Don't take it. Wait for me to disconnect. I wonder why it is.
Is it protocol? No, it's
Now when you get money, all the women will go and consult. The women will go and
now personalizing.
they will go and what? You'll not be safe.
I will not be safe.
This guy is already a magnet.
Already in his current status.
There's a story I keep telling people at work when we have started working.
Yeah.
They have a place called Accounts General. It has like pretty ladies there. So because he's tall
Yeah.
and let's say a network person has an issue with relaying a cable.
Yes.
For him, he just
And I'll just go and do like
he just pushes the plate and pulls it for you without a rubber or anything like that. So there was this lady, she was holding cups of tea, I think, and she was mesmerized.
Oh my god. Oh my
She
god.
was moving in a direction and forgot to turn, so she almost landed on the wall.
You see?
Because of
He was the commander. Yeah.
So it's
I
really
caused
madness.
problems.
It caused problems.
So imagine if money comes.
Ah!
Collapse.
Eh?
We just wait for me.
Even he yourself.
You fear yourself.
Even he fears himself. You are aware?
I'm aware. When you get money, you're very dangerous person. It has connected.
It was connected, but I don't know, it's slow. Hey, the one we got, the specifications we're getting from the cloud. They gave me a Pentium 2.
We have actually said everything,
If we had got some serious,
The resources we paid for. Would that be the reason as to why it's low?
I guess.
So, is it going to come? How is it going to come? Is it going to come in the application?
Now this done, we need to perform the.
This is going to be the template.
This done, we're going to install VLC.
Put VLC
VLC.
in. Package it at once.
Then you can also install Chrome if there is time. But I think one application will do.
Yeah, one application.
But I don't want it in its current
The
state.
person was asking me before was about now
DHCP is there. Guys, did you see DHCP?
Yeah.
Exactly. That should be enough to demonstrate you that you can inject scripts and they install along. Eric, another man has been wondering since the beginning. But it installed, but there are some additional configurations which you can also specify in the script. Yes, if you want. Now, like committing it to the administrator, we had not committed, but you see, it was just one line of
but we
code.
can also do it in the script.
Exactly. Yeah. So the DHCP is here. Even if you try to,
My question was,
please go ahead.
like,
So DHCP is installed.
Because I feel like I answered myself still wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have managed to
DHCP is
manage
on.
and I think DHCP is on.
Yeah.
But remember, we're going to use it as an example so that we can create our image file with all the programs that we want.
Yes.
My question was that now, the next time I'm going to move my image that I'm going to create and with all these programs, will it install it as a DHCP server too?
The other side.
Yeah.
I am sure it
Does
will.
it pick the extension? Because
Oh.
in my head I was thinking it would pick the programs just.
The programs.
But does it
No, I think
extension?
let us confirm that later. We check because the one I've done before, the one that done before was basically for a user with programs. It was not a server. So let's also check if after the image, the DHCP is going to be there.
See that yesterday, the guy came up and I saw like 30 minutes. It had everything, the roles, the water, in 30 minutes.
So I have some programs, Firefox.
Because usually it's a lot.
He's using that's what I'm using, my God. VMware, VMware.
Clone, yeah. Those virtual machine, those applications can help with cloning and what, especially VMware.
I think when he's done, that's it, when there's nothing, the only thing that was left was to run that place.
He was a service provider
So he's our principal system administrator.
at CA.
And the guy is,
Is dangerous.
shocks me with
Eh?
how he does his things. My mentor.
Your mentor, eh? Is that you report to?
No, I don't, but I'm hoping that I will in the future.
Oh, you report to someone who reports to him.
I want someone who is totally different than me in IT. Me, I want the support.
Mm.
But I want to be in the system administration.
You want to be under systems admin, eh?
Yeah. Then from system admin, I want to move to information security
Mm.
in the future.
It's a good plan.
Thank you.
How do you buy?
So you see,
Where do you buy?
This thing will confuse you.
because of
No, it can't confuse me because
Because you see in yourself
just
you're
know your
going
business. Just know your business is about to expire.
no, not even
Just
expect
know.
because
It's about to expire.
honestly speaking, I'm looking at the situation. Wow,
Mm. You just need to get your car 1 GB and maybe 40 GB hard disk, and then good internet
but no, we already have it.
No, we don't.
in Uganda here.
No, we don't.
We are there, and this is
It's trying, eh?
It's right.
It's not where we were. Like,
yes, exactly. In fact, people like Laika now, they are very poor, but now they've improved. Zuku has really done its best.
So the problem, my issue is that when I'm not competing or having to work with an environment with someone who's working in another country, I am defeated because my resources are not as fast as
But
theirs.
like I said,
Okay.
you have to
But
improvise.
I agree they are improving. They really are. But we're still not there.
As I'm still saying that Zuku would really do this well.
mm.
I didn't know. I didn't know which one. And I think that is now saying that I'm using it.
That's what the MTN I had.
Selling what?
5G.
I'm not
But
sure.
they will tell you they have the 5G, the 5G, but then I don't think it works.
And this one had 5G, one of the specs had 5G.
Like
And then I
iPhone.
asked them, the one that and then was like, yeah, I told you, see, it's 5G that you're
We don't have
the
5G.
spec that you're looking for. We don't actually have it.
Mm.
He said, no, I was in the press conference, MTA,
Now you see, that's why I'm saying the 5G is categorized in a different way. There is internet, there is voice, there is so
People don't understand.
Yeah.
They're comparing it to the 2G, the 3G,
actually
4G. That's how they're
I'm told
comparing
that
it.
in Uganda we are still on when it comes to internet, we are still in 2G. 2G, around there.
That's way below him.
We are
We are.
way down.
The tech companies are just, if you're not technical, these mobile companies just
See.
confuse people.
I'm just making money.
Come and you buying 4G,
Upgrade.
4G up.
But there are people in Africa that are there.
Crazy.
The thing when I was still in essence, nothing is really fast. Like Orange is there, and Orange is one of their biggest. I can drop Orange there. I think it has some big huge. It was
What are the names of what maybe looking at the books like when we have
that was Orange.
Orange. Orange. Where did the orange go to?
the
They saw
problem is
government.
when you
Oh,
look at
this-
the stats,
Mm.
people are not willing to invest in that kind. The quality was good, but then the
It's
markets
actually
here-
Orange is the best in Africa.
But just guess what?
In Africa.
So they just moved out of Uganda.
Internet. I got an experience of quality.
They are the best. They are the best. They are the best. Actually, they offer. There is a package they have. Right? It's more like Zuku. They give you internet, then a TV box. Yeah. Instead of buying you DSTV, they give you a TV box.
Hmm.
Yeah. Then you watch your TV. TV direct TV.
Ah,
I think BLT has finished.
sure. This thing seems to be.
So you see, because we did not pay for it, we did not pay the option of the I see.
Eh? Hey,
You're joking.
Bagule 11.
Generation.
This one is 11. Yes,
That one.
this is 11th generation.
No, I'm saying.
Oh, in the cloud,
In the
eh?
cloud.
I know, I've been meaning to ask, I was just trying to him. This laptop, is it better than the other one?
The previous one I had, way better.
Of course.
Way better.
Next time it's fast.
This is 11.
You were just clicking, and just moving.
It was fast.
So even if you have an i5, yeah, it's 11th generation. It's better than an iPhone 7, yeah, which is 9th generation. Perfect.
But now the computations we are depending on in the cloud seem to be just the VLC. I think also there is connectivity issue.
It's not even joking. That is the way back.
You would push for it, eh?
Easy to push the NGOs that
You said a lot of things. So let's say the local network, this normal things. It will take you like for forever. So like 3 days if you give it like 6 computers. Install.
it didn't even take 5 minutes.
That's
That's
fine.
why. It didn't even take 5 minutes.
No way, this is the.
Today from you.
What another day?
Hey, so,
No, but
This
this
guy,
one,
from the moment you talked about gallery,
Yeah.
he's still in shock. Still in shock.
now I feel very great. You see, when I was still working as a teacher, this guy used to do images. You get one image, you push it to one ATM, you go to another, then they take it to Bali, you know? Actually, I think that's what they did now. Just in your office, you have brain everything, you actually install new stuff from the ATM. Without going there.
I actually think it's really enjoying security. They pay well in tech, but it's more possible.
But that's what you must say.
Maybe if you invest in the good in tech, it's like you don't have to pay for the land, the table, or whatever
anyone with this man normally has applications. And like this man
The application.
any light software that you have that you've anything.
But
P-
is PDF lighter than PS?
PDF is not so light.
What?
Winner.
WinRAR is for what?
It's like zipping.
You can try. You have it on the flash already?
I know.
But it's going to
You're a guy of
5 minutes.
why the man is today is the guy is always a hard disks, hard drives.
But that's your business.
But by the way, is your business located?
In case you need tech, the guy. Purchase any kind of tech, the guy.
Is the one, huh?
What you need. Okay, market is like, stop paying me the money.
I told you, I'm not going to pay you. Me, I'll just marry you.
You just marry her.
You need how many ones?
I'm marketing a teacher.
How much is that?
I think I'm telling you, my husband.
I tell you.
Like, I have a friend.
I have a friend. By the way, I have a friend.
He's your husband.
By the time you're done with the business, the nearest introduction is your husband.
So what is it?
Down.
Down, eh?
That'd be
It's the last one. How do you
Oh, we installed this one also. This one seems to be light.
Winra.
OBS.
Not that one.
This one, no?
Yeah. It's actually much lighter.
It's much lighter, eh? Okay.
How much storage did you pick?
The storage. About 100 and something.
I think it's supposed to do my Oh, Ofuna
Guy of applications. I told you. But, so how do we access it? What about the start here?
You can just search for it.
But the problem is, what we picked was around
Again.
even as a businessman, talk to him.
Send it
How can I do practical when I have to worry about my accounts bills? I just choose money from me.
Guys, this machine is so slow. It is so slow. It is so slow.
Yes, I see that. Oh my God. Sorry. Yangu aku.
It froze, eh? I think let's try to get a better specification machine. Since it wants, as this one is also there, we can try to deploy.
An upgrade.
Can we upgrade?
Upgrade it.
Yeah.
Let me see. Size, yeah. CPU.
The upper line is
These ones.
right now you're at all. What you're doing is all, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying I right now, it's what you do. So I think maybe you take one. So I think that's where you pick.
Maybe 4.
That you want.
We go with 4 or 8.
First try.
Let's play it safe. Let's not start with 4. This is money.
Really?
I think we
And then, okay?
yeah.
Okay. What about CPU?
Here it's like we're filtering.
We're not actually picking.
Hmm?
CPU.
Here we are.
Let's try that. 4.
Let's stick to the first option. Since we have not picked anything.
Do hourly.
Yeah?
What if we go? Yeah, that's what we are going to do.
So it should ideal
Yes, seven option or that is just it.
and it's not showing there. And I think this machine, if it goes off, that will be the end of. There will be some issues, yeah. Because for us to do everything like this, we need to shut down the machine. Then it will be a long process than us creating a new one.
So we just read it.
Let's create a new one, yes.
Why don't you just install DHCP? Man,
DHCP. Guys, there are a lot of ideas. Let me go with creating a new machine.
To your original plan.
What we wanted to is actually only that we might miss out on seeing the extension, but
we try to delete that one.
Try this without normal extension one.
yeah, the points. I'm going to delete. I'm going.
Why are you worried?
Hey, my dear, I'm in Uganda. I'm in Uganda. I'm in Uganda. I'm in Uganda. Uganda, you know Uganda? Yeah, so which one could we choose here?
We went for standard.
Then we went for standard B, 1V CPU.
We went for standard.
Can we try?
You see 1 GB.
Can we do the second one?
Can we do this?
Yeah.
137 a month. 137. That one was 10
Was
per month. Okay, this is maybe better. Can we do the same usernames and passwords?
yes.
I'm in Uganda. You know Uganda? That's all? There must be somewhere like virtual machine name. Did we miss that?
Let's see. Up.
Up. Yeah, yes.
Also, the resource field.
Let me twist the virtual machine name a little. Include something. Then what else? Resource group should be this one, right? Good. What else is missing now? So guys, quick. This time no extension. Oh, I hope I still have credits, because if the credits are less, the deployment will jam. Yes. Sure.
Yeah, maybe he needs to review the pricing of the notice. If you need to.
Yeah, sure. Because now the requirements for the students, because most of the times I just hustle, because like the previous class, honestly, I got accounts from a different environment and I gave each student, which wasn't possible this time. It would be a hassle again for me to generate. Because now, like, these guys are an organization, they are known. They can't just do free things. They'll reach a time and now they need to charge them. It's very expensive.
But things are not cheap.
They're never cheap.
How about I try the because now you're getting to a new one.
You want to try that one, eh?
Yeah.
Let me close it. You know the usernames and passwords? Must be somewhere. Is this the one? This one?
Yeah, it's the one.
Yeah.
You just go back.
That's the IP address. The IP address is here.
Wait. 161. 2.
187. Is that right? It's 18724.
Yes. 20 163 18724.
Username? Go to the other page.
0.
It's in the same state.
Same state, eh?
Same state you left it in is the same state.
I hope it is not anything network related connectivity issues.
If it could be related to a network speed,
It could be. It could be that. You can change. Do you have a hotspot? You have a hotspot? You can try a hotspot and see. Mr. Kavanda, you're putting your hand
Yeah,
up.
I wanted to ask you. What do you mean by great man?
Uh-huh. You're going to understand once we get done with this. Let me try this and see. If this is fast, then it will not be a network related issue. Copy. This one shows some signs. Eh? Money.
money.
You have money. Chizu cha DHCP. Mpajagole mede ku DHCP.
I've noticed that you always stick to Windows 10.
Yeah.
Like for your personal operating system. The other one had 10.
The other one had the 10. Reason being, that machine, the hardware I had was not supporting 11. You get it? Eh?
So why not have 11 then?
Here, this one came pre-installed with 10, and I didn't have time to.
Upgrade.
Yeah. And also, this one has a license. Eh? So if I go into 11, I don't have a license.
But unless they changed it.
To crack.
But no, unless they changed it.
Yes.
If you use the
If
upgrade
you
version,
upgrade,
it carries the license. It does. You can confirm.
When I was checking,
Because that's how we did ours now.
that's what I did there. So it will go with the license. Eh?
Of course.
And it will go with the license.
Because already you are an owner.
Okay, I'll do that.
But you can also
Because the last time I tried, the license stayed. I don't know what. You know, Microsoft keeps changing their things.
yeah, that's right.
I'll pay attention to that
That
again.
was at the beginning. First compound like before.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is come and. This one is fast. I think the issue is money, right? Hey, you're still waiting. Okay, we do only VLC.
Yeah.
We are starting
We
with
just need to see the concept.
Okay.
I mean, you can't now restart this machine.
That's frozen.
Just from there.
Stay in that state. And once I'm freezing, it's that.
Oh, innocente. You had some other.
You want to achieve something and you get to where you want it to be. You realize that actually the way you want it to be is not. So when you say I want this one and then you get it, then you realize this is not me. You need to make another plan.
That's why you die hustling. Commander. So you just have to be content. I don't think still there.
At some point in life, no, actually,
Where you be like, katinjita.
he said the more you age, the more you age in life, I realize the more your mind keeps on changing. And then also the priorities you have at that point in your life is actually what pushes you to certain things. You want to maybe provide, you want to reach this level, you want to do this. And then the older you get, you realize when some people are getting older, even the people who are like you, at some point they'll be like, okay, let's relax.
Let's relax.
But not everybody, some people are super good at it, they will die hustlers.
So much.
Die hustlers.
But at least if you are a rich man, but now if you are really old and you're broke, that hustling there. But if you're an old rich man and you're adding on to, it looks a bit cool. But now if you are looking like someone who had forgotten about yourself and now you're waking up, you had forgotten about yourself. Someone, life is too short. We really have to be careful. Commander, that height,
Me, I'm enjoying my This thing, you don't know today, tomorrow, you go with your man.
Life is too short.
Why want you to be rich to spend your money?
To be happy. Yeah, I used to tell my madam, I'm not officially wed, but yeah, I have someone. We stay together, we have a kid. Now, there are times, of course, women, like, yeah, you. If you're going to wait for me to get money to be happy, what if I never get it? Let us enjoy whatever we get. Let's be happy.
To reach a level of basic satisfaction.
Yes.
Accept this.
See? Women, You guys, that's how you are. Justin.
Justin, I hope you don't do the same thing
The fact is,
to me.
the fact is even scientifically, we have been studied. There are things that are just different. The only benefit you have is if you get somebody who knows that I'm by default and I need to maybe just adjust him because I know I'm by default. Not someone who's in denial that it's by default. You get it? That is the only benefit you have.
But more at least I'm sure. It shall matter.
Anak, it was an issue of the.
Money.
You have money. That you have money. Try. You see what money does.
You see how they tell you to run something, you demo forward. The other one, you're running, you demo forward.
And you want to spend money,
Yeah, for me.
just like a demo. There's something to say. For example, these resources that we keep picking up. Once we're done with them and we delete or something like that, at a point in time,
The point, they just, for example, like you saw, the charge is, I think, 0.00148 per hour. So
You just have to
what you have used, work first. If you've so far and delete, so that don't leave it running in the system because they'll be charging you. Okay? Yeah. So let me check something. I think VLC has gone to the desktop, Then also now here at least we can. How do you send the shortcut to the desktop?
right click.
Right-clicked.
Okay, that's not the description.
There's no desktop option, eh?
Send to.
Send to. Run. Already it's there, okay. Let's go with this, and also we have installed Windows, okay? So there's one command you run, the sysprep command. Let me look for that command. Sysprep command. You must run that command. In CMD, so guys, I'm going to paste it here. The command is there. Windows dir system 32 sysprep. You know, seeing it? Okay, so I press enter, then it brings this pop-up. Now you're preparing the system for all the configurations and stuff. So system cleanup action is enter system out of box experience. When you go, the other one is enter system audit mode. We go with the first one. Then you have to click generalize and then shut down. This one, okay? Shut down and then okay. Generalization is something maybe you need to read about to get the entire concept. Generalization during system prep. Okay? Generalization during system prep. So, at some point, we will shut down. This is prep. Like to get some documentation.
Not just
The link. All the
the
command.
command.
Yeah, I'll share it with you.
It's not in Microsoft.
It's there, you'll find it. You can check it out. You'll find it. That means it is restarting. Don't fear, because they're saying your remote desktop services session has ended. Click OK to this. It's gone. Shutting down, then doing its thing and preparing the configuration, the settings. Yeah. Meanwhile, we can go back to the cloud. So it's the machine 001, right? It's this one, eh? Okay. Just wait for a few minutes, then we. Yes, please.
Take us back to where the command was.
The command. So the command is somewhere. This prep.
It's trying to decide.
Yours, eh? Still slow. Okay.
It's like, it's a very much.
How do you get to, this is totally unrelated, how do you get to the task manager in the automation?
That's money. I use the what? This tool. No. Or, hey, still press the C button.
No, that's what
So I think we can try to capture this image. Now, from after the sys prep, we capture the image now. Yeah. So we're capturing it from here. From the machine itself, there's this option of capture. And yes. So when you do capture, there is a resource group, the same. The region should be the same. And then the gallery where it's going, not so? You remember?
yeah,
So it is gallery what? 0, right? Then operating system state generalized. We can read what you're asking. VMs created from this image require host name, admin user, and the VM related setup to be completed on first boot. Yep. So because even once we chose generalized, yeah. So we go to target VM image definition. We haven't created any image definition yet. Now the image definitions are, we said you might have different categories of images because image definitions give you properties of a particular image in terms of the name, the version, number, a family of images, right? So we are going to have one, you can have more. So target VM definition, let's create the definition. VM definition name, it can be like maybe Windows Server. Zero, zero, zero. And then what else? There is a provider here. I think that's all I need to fill in. Then publisher, Windows, Microsoft Windows Server, then offer Windows Server, then stock keeping unit, 2019 data center. That's okay. Now they're asking for the version number. The version number of the image, because you might keep, updating the image. So the first one, you give the image version number. Maybe this is going to be 0. I think the dot. Yeah, that's okay. Because remember, that's what we followed. Then, in case you update this image and maybe it has some additional programs, that will be 0.001, so that you differentiate. It will automatically update. Yes. So end of life, when should this image be? When are you stopping? What is the program? What is the plan? Like maybe we're going to use it maybe for 2 years or something like that. So you decide. What's the date today? 24th. For me, I want it by 26th to be end of life.
What happens to it?
It deletes itself. Yeah. Replication, default replica count is 1. That's okay for me. Then also target regions. Right now we only have East US. The replica count is 1 and it's replicating as a standard HDD, locally redundant storage. And that's okay. But you can do more, okay? Yeah. So next, tags and review and create. And I think they must have asked us to deallocate the machine somewhere after the image has been created. Can we check that option? I didn't. Sure? There is somewhere. It's not there. Okay, fine, no problem. I think.
So that can download template information.
Hey.
It still brings the
Yeah, everything you do, it will give you to download. I would actually request that every time you do such a thing, download the templates and study them. Yes. Now this has been for creating an image from the VM. Yeah, you can download the template and go through it and check. Then you can redeploy using the same. Of course, you might get errors, but keep doing it. Yeah. So from Sajjawa, there was money. So that thing is still slow.
I was actually thinking about it.
So now what's going to happen after here is we want to deploy from the image. Now we're going to give a different machine name, username, and everything so that we see what is the other side. Yeah.
skill set.
Hey, the virtual machine skill set. I think we're also going to look at it. Well, it will come from the image. Now, a virtual machine skill set is a form of deployment which ensures that you can deploy more than one machine at a go. A skill set is deployment of more than one, two or more VMs at a go. Deployment of two or more VMs at a go. Actually, you should try that practically every time. They're easy to deploy. Try a virtual machine skill set. Money. Enough of that after 1 hour. Use those student credits. Deploying two or more VMs at a go. That's a virtual machine skill set. And that thing is called the exams. VM skill sets. They knew your ICT stuff.
Yeah.
How do you know the Jesus? This is the first time.
Yeah.
Give me some more.
You know, let me tell you something. These are very accurate to your first time today. You know, let me tell you something. When you approach the user like this, you start studying because so you know his character. You know if he's in a mood, if he's not in a mood, things are peaceable, things are not peaceable. Yeah. You can even show him that I'm going to teach you this, but I'm sure you know you're going to forget. So you're going to call me. But me, I study them. You, I study the character. Come up to know exactly what to do. Just come and just approach him. Just come and quit you. Before you know it, that problem has been solved and you are both happy.
He's a con man.
Let me tell you, when you have something you need to do, you make a plan. Everybody has their own plan. That's a plan.
Me as
And
well.
trust
No,
me.
it really works. It's a trick. That's why I call him a con man.
Because eventually it ends up
We are all
being
convinced,
kind
by the
of
way.
mutual friendship.
You know we are all convinced.
It's okay, you know, it's okay.
What if you find the challenge and you can't solve?
Then I cannot leave. You don't leave again, so
In the user presence.
yes. If it cannot be solved, then
Or you try.
I try this. If I fail, then I go to someone.
You escalate.
Yeah, it's kind of. But I don't leave. I sit on YouTube. I can do that for half a day.
Now, it is the user.
I can say I'm saying the things I'm refusing.
Not that users who are bullies. You man, up to now.
Now this one, so you handle them. You understand?
The human. You really did plenty of work.
Those ones. They try to get you now. Those ones you have
When you enter the office, you can start saying good morning, boss. Some people you feed them in evening.
I feel like, come on, you people are not serious. Those ones. And I'll be like, what do you mean you're not serious? You know, you find the will. You find the will. Character-wise, yeah, be you handling people character-wise. Just wait. Yeah.
Actually, that's like, because if you think that someone is a tech skill, the first thing is to first establish
Relationship.
because you can help them if they can't trust you. Trust you. People think it is the tech. The first thing is the communication.
Communication.
Before anything else.
It's always communication.
They understand you as a person. Be like, oh man, come on, first come. Then when they see you moving on, be like, hey man, you guys, I know you're busy. Let me first give you a few minutes. But others won't. But if you can tell them, let me come back. Just give it 5 minutes. He will understand because he sees that you're busy. But the other one, you tell the person for 5 minutes. How?
One time, you know, you say, this one is saying, some people used to treat them different.
I have not gotten help for a week. Yet he has just got you 5 minutes ago. You see?
He's always moving up and down.
That's right.
That's what you do.
There are those bullies, eh?
Yeah, they're there.
You manage them, eh?
I manage them properly.
Only problem is when they get you in your worst.
Let me say something. You don't need to.
Even
You
if
don't show your
you're
worst.
supposed to leave your issue.
No.
You don't show your worst.
Listen,
You would rather tell them I'm coming. You understand? You don't have to show, but showing him your worst
I think sometimes you're overwhelmed. Sometimes you're overwhelmed. Sometimes you make mistakes and move however to work. But the first, the number one thing is to put it behind you.
Otherwise, when that kind of mood to work, they want to be like, you see him like that, that's
So
not.
I'm still emotional.
And they will be better if they were coming to see the road. You understand?
Soja Muleke.
Such a man came to see the road. You know.
And before you know it,
Before you reach the entire
the entire organization, eh?
Yes, they know.
And you know, organizations work. Things move fast, especially through women. They don't move. By the time you heard it from one person, the story has climaxed on the 10th person already.
Look at to this guy. That's how it starts.
Meanwhile, that also affects users' trust in you.
Yeah.
They tell you as to professional, you can't have professional. So it's good to keep a clean place.
It smells from a lot of things. If you ever realize that in life, my brother, I'm telling you.
there's something where
You don't jump. You don't come.
no, someone just nags you there.
Even so,
Oh my god.
at first you're faced with the full outright insult to
Insult
your
you.
face.
Are they
And you
insulting
still have to
people?
work on it. You still have to work on them. They've outright insulted to your face. But you have to keep your professionality, do what you're there to do. You can't be called
Muscle man.
you can't be called stupid, you can't be called daft,
IT.
you can't be called all those things. Insult you and everything. But you're there to work, you must do the work, you must
That's
do the
why
work.
why I'm talking like that is I've been there 5 years.
That's why
5 years. That's the reason as to why I left that country.
But let me tell you something. No, you also, no.
Oh my god, it was too
You know,
much.
I think
Politics is politics.
the only way that you can actually get yourself, why leave? Name is very important. You know, what to- you know, yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I don't see members. Where are they?
Two people communicated. One was going to think for an interview, Joe. The other one had a project. That's different. Then Joshua. One was an interview. So, Chef, I don't know.
But the only thing I think, a question to you, how come?
Our Azure account.
I should account.
Yeah, we are limited
We are limited
practicals.
because
The constraint of the points.
Hey, can I create some account for them? For our Ismail Ministry account?
Not sure. You create them and try them out.
I can do right now. Future account.
No.
because like
Maybe you can get now.
No, I can
we try in the
Yeah.
next class.
Yeah.
We try them in
Is
the
it
next
going
class.
to be one or we get individual?
Individual account. Yeah. We just,
Start with follow up.
what we can do, we can actually just WhatsApp me.
Yeah.
Okay.
The name, first name, second name, first name,
Check
second
the
name.
numbers, yeah.
Yeah, so we just actually look that and I share. Because it's on WhatsApp, right? Yes. We can do this.
Yeah,
We have a group.
Yeah, I can share it on there. So, no problem.
Thank you.
So, maybe I can do this. MCSA, June 2023, June 23, student one, student two, something like that.
Yeah.
Then actually another account can be reused. Yeah. Because you don't create every time.
So that you don't personalize it.
Yeah, exactly. We can recently research and actually we name it.
Alright.
Yeah, MCS is student one, MCS is student two, MCS is student three. Then actually we see, then let me do that and share it.
Thank you.
Within actually your stuff, you design.
they will not be later.
It was just a delay.
It was great. That's why it's for the team there. That is why it's for the team there. Nothing to do with it. We pay it.
We know your money will be on account.
Chijua leo. Unamka mchana.
Corporate league,
Well,
moves. Corporate league.
that is sad.
Yeah.
I want to always spend my time with the kids. How many teams are playing? Basket. Those are things that do me off from basketball. Not that I couldn't play, but wait, how can put it in gym? Before, wait, I've never been successful.
Yeah.
Aku only account here.
Yeah.
I've never even. In fact, over Bambi message, team I cannot do what? 20 minutes. Never been successful. I think I'm my chair come to China, they will find. That's got to be a lot of money online.
Get up,
Sio, unaita
Sasa unaweka hapo.
Look for it. That is remote. What do you think is that? There is this thing of the work remote thing. It refers to connect or
it connects, but
hata msajana wacha kufunza. Wewe kama self employment. Nikutaka.
then you must open up for you.
Then you want to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, because remote jobs are flexible.
The man way na nyiga 5 years man. Kama nyingine boy. So when I was telling you man, when politics gets high, you just switch off. I blew my boss and I told him you're an idiot. I quit. Actually, it's still quit. I didn't just.
Oh, yeah, you saying
I told him I quit. Actually, it was in Uganda. There is a Ugandan and a Senegalese. That's why I realized. That's when I realized that the Uganda was doing something. Because I was too close to him to the fact that I even got to know his all these, secrets. Like, then he went and dated. When I realized it is when he dated a Senegalese girl. And he was bragging and he went and made an error. Because of him. Then the girl was also afraid. And she had started planning. This guy has to marry. Now she had started shifting things in. So when the guy went back to Uganda, the girl told me she dreamt having a miscarriage. In the morning, she saw blood. The guy calls me the following day. Do you know God helped me? That's when I realized this guy is wrong.
Guys, our deployment is done. So the thing is now to check out. We're deploying an image, right? Now I've created an image from the other machine, not so? And now we can, once we have the image, we can either create a VM or a virtual machine scale set. So which means the virtual machine scale set is going to be more than one. But this one is just one VM so that we see and compare, right? So now let's do one from this gallery, because gallery 00 Windows Server. I hope you understand it. Everyone? Understand where this is coming from? That's the path from our gallery. Yes. So let's deploy a VM from it. Let's get some unique names. I think you can write, or maybe let me write in the notepad. Let me just say deployment from the image or from the gallery or something like that. Let's get unique names for the virtual machine name. So this should be something very unique. Maybe like suggest a name. Okay, new VM, maybe from image. Then the user. So the password can remain, but as long as the VM name changes, and also the IP address, of course, is going to be different. So this is new VM for image. Good. For lack of good virtual machine name, that's that. And then region is TOS. Then we're picking from, is this the right gallery? Yeah, some other galleries. That's correct? Okay. Then 64, then we go for a big one, money. We hope we still have credits. Yeah, so we go and username and password the same. Okay. I think that's all. License type is Windows Server. Next, I think disk we don't need to. We go for HHD. What do we choose for the previous one?
Yes.
Okay.
You have to be well, I think my mom asked for 15 because the new companies get now. So that's when I came to this going to bed.
Hope this is all good.
Because this one is easy.
Yeah, but you know, we have the argument that we just been like, we can have reason to keep on going forward. For example, if I was working for you,
But they tried this is the latest one. They tried this in the latest one. They tried.
Jesus. This time busy.
Taps in the trailers.
Because, yeah, as it's deployed, can we use the containers or we have to do
Yeah.
This is created the container.
oh, the container instances,
Yeah.
registry and
So containers, they are not very hard in the cloud. So that's why I'm giving, actually, let me just, because I said I'll be giving some exercise on containers. Containers are basically, they are used for deployments. They're a little bit when it comes to function, they are better compared to virtual machines. Other than hosting a web application in a virtual machine, you would rather do it on a container than a virtual machine. Why? Because you see, virtual machines have a lot of issues. Like now you've been trying to access a virtual machine, you can't access it. Or sometimes, so
An equivalent of a virtual machine.
the containers, there are some things we do with virtual machines, for example, web hosting, not so? And also the containers do the same thing. Now, let's see an example of a container instance. So creating a container instance. So of course, as usual, container instance, and then create the first container instance, yes. And let's put it in the same resource group. Then container name. I'm going to say container app. I've said container app. Then availability zones, I'm not going to give any. Then now, image source. Image source is like this area here. Where is your code seated at? Where are you picking your data, your files, website files or something? That's what they mean by this. Where are they seated? You get it? So it can be either a quick start image from Azure, that's which we are going to start with, or it could be in the Azure Container Registry, or it could be some other kind of, it could be GitHub, elsewhere, whatever. So, but first we go with this, so that you see how, then later we can try Container Registry. So quick start image, then the image of course is here by default, the size is that, and so on. Now, write down this one. Research and implement on how to customize the quick start images. Research and implement on how to customize the quick start images while working with container instances in the Azure cloud. So let's continue with this. Next, the networking is public access. There's a default port here, which is port 80 and TCP. That's the default port. I hope you understand that. So configure additional container properties, mark secure, tags, review and create. So what I'm telling you to customize is this, this thing here. So just like you see how you install Internet Information Services on Windows Server, and you punch in the localhost, it brings you that page, the default web page. So how do you customize that, or how do you come up with your own, so that instead of that being displayed, it's something else from maybe some other source that is displaying? Or how do you work around with that one and edit it so that it displays something else other than the default? You get it, eh? Yeah, so let's do it and complete, and you see what I'm talking about. So a container is a holder of something. Like you see, much as in storage accounts, containers are for files, but here basically it's more for applications. When we talk about containers in this other side, it's more for application hosting, websites, portability.
So it does both. It can do
It will basically, either applications
all files.
or web pages, to be more specific. It doesn't do what the storage containers do. Are you getting me? The storage containers, what they are doing is to keep files of maybe type TXT, docs, PDFs, music videos. That's what the storage account containers do. But these Azure containers instances, for them, they are used to host applications and websites and stuff like that. Okay? Yeah. And the reason you would prefer to go for this other than a physical machine, because they are cloud-based services, for them it's very easy to scale. Auto-scaling, features like that make it the best choice for people, or maybe systems admins or developers. Yes. So when you go to this resource, this container app, I'm seeing it here, and I thought we had the URL, but instead it has just given us the public IP, which we can try to use instead. So you see, it's the default. Welcome to Azure Container Instances. So this is what I'm trying to tell you to can find out how you can change this so that something else comes other than the default page. Did you understand it? Yeah. This is what is being hosted there in that container at the moment. Then also it's supposed to bring a Microsoft URL, which we have missed. I think there's something I haven't done. So it's either use the Microsoft URL or the IP address. Yeah. Now, the container registry is one place where you can store your files, web application files. Your web application file, container registry. You can also install it in the Azure cloud as a different resource. You get it, eh? Now, when you're creating the container instance, instead of going with the default quick start image, you can now choose the other option of container registry. Because now what happens, the container registry has what we call a repository. Repository. A repository within the container registry is where you push your files. And now those files, you can now pick the files from the registry, then now continue with this kind of configuration, then now it will be published. So it's somewhere in the configuration, you put a URL that you can share with other people you want to access your applications. Okay? Yeah. So when you're studying about the container registries, I think somewhere Docker will come in place, and how to push information to the repository, and now how to finally access that information. Now, you're going to do a demonstration in the next class on how you came up with that, and one of you should be able to do that in the first session. Yes. What else? Which other container thing did we talk about? There's another one. Which one?
Registry and groups, that's what we want to.
And groups, yeah, container groups. I think that's easier. You know how you have several different, like how we have the Azure Compute Gallery with different images. So it's the same concept. Same concept, yeah. The other one is the Azure Kubernetes. AKS. research about AKS, Azure Kubernetes. Let me. So this is it. The Kubernetes is here. Azure Kubernetes. Hey, you can't see it?
Yes, please read for us.
It's KU B E R N E T E S. Create and configure Azure Kubernetes services.
Is it container group do what?
Hmm?
Create container group is what's that?
Container group, it works like a storage for several container instances. Container groups, yeah.
You create many groups.
Yeah, you could say maybe I have a container group for different containers hosting different web applications. You get it? Eh? Now, with that container group, you can name it as web. Then you can have another one for basically applications. Okay? Applications. Because websites are different from applications. Okay, all of them are applications, but you see, an applications like the one I have on my phone for transactions, mobile transactions. Like from my bank to my mobile banking. Yeah, that's an example of an application. So you can have another container group for applications like that. One container application one, another container application two, like that. So, yeah, that is it. Another one. Is this look? These are short things. They're not going to be. It's not going to be too much. An app service. How to create and configure an app service. How to create and configure an app service in the Azure cloud. Create and configure an app service. Create and configure an app service. Now, you see, containerization is same thing. If we're talking about a container instance for web application deployment, we have just said container instance. It's the same thing as saying Azure Kubernetes. It also does the same thing. It's also a container application. You get it? An app service is also a container for hosting an application. Maybe you're getting the code from an external source, then the container is aiding the hosting of those files or in the publishing of how people can access that information. So basically, all of them are for such services, hosting. Usually, developers use these containers for testing of their applications. So they push the applications to different containers to test and see if the things are working properly before maybe they go live or something like that in production environment. Okay? So as you do some research about them, you will really have a wider understanding, and also you'll be thinking about how it can help your organization, or even you'll be thinking about how you can migrate from what you're using. I believe you'll appreciate it. That's why I've given you it as a practical assignment. You'll appreciate it. So currently our deployment is done, and I want to check out and see if because now the public IP is 20.115.120.64. To see if it has cloned. What were the usernames? They remain the same.
I agree to disagree.
You agree to disagree? On the other hand, someone who can offer that information is
Yeah. So like imagine if you had like a whole lot of stuff installed on your, so you don't need to hassle install them again. That's the whole idea. Yeah. Because I think we had also installed WinRAR. Hope it is also it's there. Yeah. So basically that's it for anything to do with the Azure Compute Gallery, then imaging, creating a virtual machine from an image. Now the most important is understanding the system prep process, making sure that you give the right commands when you're doing the sys prep. Because if you don't do it in the right way, you'll notice that after you come creating a VM from the image, you'll see that it has not captured the way the original operating system is. Okay? Now, if you're going to do your practice, you can also inject the script so that then after injecting the script, then install the applications, then also confirm if the DHCP can also be reflected as one of your assignments also, as you try to do the practice.
Assignment.
That's not an assignment, but for your practice, for you to confirm what we haven't confirmed because of the machine we had, you do it on your own.
repeat.
Hey, I repeat.
To repeat that.
Hey, yeah. Initially, we ran a virtual machine, which we injected during the installation the script, and also that's the machine we wanted to capture an image from and create a new VM from it. Yes. So now in your practice, for you, for the machine you're going to create an image, make sure it has the script. You do the extension, then also you install the applications, so that when the time you run the sys prep, the DHCP is installed, and also the applications. Then so that you, in the final OS or final virtual machine from the image, you confirm if the script also worked.
Alright.
Yes, the role also was. Yeah, but I think it will be there. It will be there. Anything else? But do that assignment very well. Can stop recording now.